How's it going, everyone? We're gonna be going over AMD if they're gonna make a high-end graphics card. I have talked about this a few times now over the past year, basically, on how the 7900 XTX is probably gonna be their last high-end GPU. But who knows? Things change, and let's see if there has been any kind of changes in the recent future, or if there's gonna be any changes at all. So over on PC Mag, also have another page open for this. What up there, Rom? Join pretty quick. Looks like my stream is lagging a bit. Try that, see if it helps out at all. Not sure why it's lagging. Oh, notification on. I gotcha. As a quick notification, some people's notifications don't work. Hopefully that helps study the video. Things look like they're ditching the high-end market. Not just AMD, Intel is also going to ditch the high-end market as well. All right. So let's get off. The ditching high-end graphics cards could give AMD an edge in GPU wars. It really could. They could sell more graphics cards. If you have not heard, AMD has already sold over 200,000 units of their 9070 and 9070 XT, which is absolutely insane. Oh, nice. How's that working out for you, man? Sometimes seeding ground is the right strategy. And AMD plans to lose the flagship graphics card battle with Nvidia to win GPU war. Flagship, which is their high-end graphics cards, like the 7900 XTX, their 6900 XT, a 6950 XT, those kind of graphics cards. They're not making any high-end graphics cards. At least for what we know of right now, they could be hiding something and bringing out a 9080 XTX. Who knows? We still don't know. The graphics card market is relatively young, starting in the late 1980s, and it's been profoundly turbulent, one all through the decades. Several companies have claimed market leadership in the graphics card industry over that time, and all but one, Nvidia, of course, have faded away. Yeah. If if anyone knows what graphics card company is no longer around, does anyone know what graphics card company is no longer around? Let me know. Nvidia has held the GPU crown for decades, with AMD doing all it can do to claim that position. But Radeon has, for the longest time, been regulated also to RAN status. Also RAN status. Wow. Okay. Now it appears that AMD will relaunch an old strategy and drop its high-end graphics card lines to try and surpass Nvidia's market share in certain areas. I think that's a winner move. Hmm. AMD's focusing on casting a wider net. Smart move, like I've been talking about, and kind of one of the reasons why them not using the like building a flagship GPU is that the more AMD graphics cards they can actually sell, more people can buy them at a reasonable price. And if someone, let's say, buys an AMD card, they like it, they're more prone to actually buy an AMD card either the next time a graphics card comes out or whenever they are looking to upgrade, they're going to buy AMD again. Sure, the idea of AMD dropping out of high-end graphics card market may give the impression that the company is performing poorly or struggling. That's not the case here, though, or why AMD is taking this step. Yeah, smart. I was wondering if your hand got super sore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. I was wondering if your hand got sore using the controller, just one hand. It's being able to find a nice, comfortable grip, right? Instead, the company has its eyes set on simply gaining as much market share as possible. Nvidia has been the market leader for decades. Yeah, they really have. For a lot of reasons, if you don't know, they took out PhysX 32-bit. They still have 64-bit, but they bought PhysX off of a company, and that game changed Nvidia. Like that absolutely game changed Nvidia. Instead of the CPU using PhysX, it will use GPU acceleration, PhysX, and actually give you a real time physics in game, like real time, which is absolutely perfect. Helped out AMD or Nvidia a lot. Before Nvidia, the market leader company was called 3DFX. Before that, it was S3 Graphics. And even further back, Hercules Computer Technology. Oh man, Hercules. Depending on your age, you may recall some of them. Some. These companies have since gone into business or been bought out. Nvidia is the exception because they're absolutely massive. There's nothing but grown over the past 2 decades, which is absolutely insane. And that's not likely to change in the near future. No, they're trillions a dollar company. They're not a billion, they're $1 trillion company. So they're definitely could go in market leadership on volume. I don't really believe this statement that much, in my opinion. I don't believe this statement, but could. Controller does not do it, but now I move it on the mouse. Weighs 3 to 4 pounds to move a lot. This seems pretty heavy to move around like constantly. Now AMD's volume of graphics cards used widely around the world. Nvidia is a bigger company, so they can manufacture and produce more graphics cards than AMD technically. Nvidia is just absolutely massive, so even though they're going to be selling maybe, let's say, 50% less than they did last year, that's still probably 30% more graphics cards than AMD, which AMD, if they can, like I said, if they can sell lots of graphics cards this year, more people are prone to buy it next year. And if they can have a good stock for next year and make sure people are happy and get good prices around MSRP price or at MSRP prices or even below MSRP prices, then maybe this will help a bit here. Thanks for letting me know. Kind of sucks that I'm stuttering. Not sure why. I haven't dropped a single frame. Probably was too high. I lowered it a bit. Hopefully that fixes some things there. I'm also recording, so I'll probably make a video of this anyways and make it look nice and crisp. Yep, again, they're looking for scale. They're trying to get out as many graphics cards as they can now. Decent prices for people. At least to compare to a 4070 at least, or 4070 Ti Super, around that region. Nice. Okay, I was wondering, yeah, might have just had the bitrate too high. So my number one priority right now is to build scale. It gets us to 40 to 50% of the market faster. Exactly. They need it. They need it. Right now they are what are they right now for market? I think they're 18% right now for the GPU market. It could be up now, it could be around 20% now, but yeah, they're aiming to get 40 to 50% of the GPU market, which would be absolutely insane. Joe, what is up, man? I haven't seen you around. So my number one priority, I was talking about you yesterday on my channel's 1-year birthday. So my number one priority right now is to build scale to get us to 40 to 50% of the market faster. And that is a big goal. Do you want to go after 10% of the total addressable market or 80%? I'm an 80% kind of guy because I don't want AMD to be the company that only people who can afford Porsches and Ferraris can buy. We want to build gaming systems for millions of users. That's why they also have PlayStation 5 uses AMD, because it's affordable. Might be off of their older RDNA 3 or RDNA 2 right now, but that could change as well. Often with new generations of graphics cards, the fastest and most potent cards get the most attention. Gets the most attention, but does not get the most sales. Dubbed flagship cards are they are spiffy and always look fun at. Oh, fun to look at, sorry. But their overall market share is minuscule. Yep, due to their excessive pricing. And yeah, the pricings are just absolutely insane. You gotta have a beefier cooler. You gotta have higher end components in it to be able to handle this kind of power. Making the chips, probably the yield is not as high on these chips as well, so that puts the price up quite a bit. None of the current gen flagships has even a 1% market share, going by Valve's Steam hardware survey, though the Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 is surprisingly close to that mark. Still, that's just a spiffle compared to Nvidia's GeForce RTX 3060, which has a 5.51% of the market by itself. It's absolutely insane how many people own a 3060, either the 8 gig model or the 12 gig model. It's just a really widely bought in graphics card. And a lot of people use it. You can even check out these numbers on Steam. If you guys are PC gamers, you just go on the Steam there, go to the Steam's GPU survey, and it'll let you know what GPUs are being bought or used for these games nowadays. There's like 140 million now registered users for Steam, and yeah, 5.5% is somewhere like 300 to 400,000 people. So absolutely insane. Or more, like around 500,000 people are using these graphics cards. PC all the way, you got that right. Or the Nvidia GeForce GTX 1060, which launched 8 years ago and still holds 2.93% of the market at the moment. Still, 3% of the market. People are using the 1060. 6 gig probably model. Chosen one. I literally just took my 5070 back to Micro Center and got a 7900 XT. I got the 5070 at MSRP price. Nice. And I bet you're pretty happy with the 7900 XT with 20 gigs of VRAM. It's a bit of a monster. And it's probably around the same price. It was probably around the same price, was it not? You had that card, the 1060? I was thinking about buying it just for overclocking. I have a lot of people message me about if I want these GPUs and that, but the price right now for in Canada, these 1060s are still going for like $100. I would buy one for around 40 to $50, to be honest. You can use that card for like 6 years. Wow. Yeah, yeah, they're absolutely insane cards. Yep, Valve's data. Hey, they're actually using it. Told you. So Steam, like I said, just go to Steam, go to the GPU survey, which is Valve's data center, which actually shows exactly what's being used for GPUs for in Steam games, and you can check for yearly, monthly, weekly what GPUs are top right now. The 4060 is actually getting up there. It's probably one of the most used cards. Yeah, probably is one of the most used cards, the 1060. I do believe the 1050 or 1050 Ti was another good one. Only a 4 GB card, but for a lot of Steam games, that is plenty. Valve's data convincingly shows that mid-range graphics cards hold far more market share than flagships, which is why AMD is laser focused. They are laser focused. Catzilla! On the market segment. It may forfeit the flagship market share, but in return, AMD will be able to compete better in more mainstream market segments. Hey, how's it going there, Tech Titan? Hey, OCPC, how old are you and how long have you been PC gaming? I don't look it, but I am 32 years old. I have been PC gaming for about around 15 years now. Yeah, 15 years I have been PC gaming. I have not touched an Xbox, PlayStation, or anything like that for about 15 years. I do like the 7900 XT better. Getting used to AMD app though, yeah, it's completely different, man. AMD versus Nvidia. I've shown how to do kind of overclocks on GPUs for AMD and Nvidia, and it is different how to overclock and get stable overclocks. In my other PC, I have a 3060 12 gig, so I'm used to NVIDIA. Yeah, it makes sense. And the 3060 12 gig is actually not a half bad GPU. I would not recommend it nowadays because you can get a graphics card around the same price that is technically better, but still, the 3060 12 gig is a pretty good graphics card. Almost 10 viewers in 20 minutes. Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go. I played the XB1 just for BF1, honestly. Battle, really? The XB1. Oh, the Xbox One for Battlefield 1, honestly. Nice, yeah. Stopped playing Battlefield 1 like early 2018 and got back into PC. Nice. I've actually never played Battlefield. The only games I really played on PC were FPS games, first person shooters, and the first game that I played for about 11 years, it's called AVA or Alliance of Valiant Arms. And it was a great game. Came out before CS2. It had way better, like everything. Mechanics felt better. Gameplay felt better. That tournaments you won way more money on the tournaments too. Like it's insane how good it was. Battlefield 1 would bring a lot of viewers, not gonna lie. Yeah, if I could afford it, right? I just can't afford it right now. Just can't afford it, man. That's why everyone keeps telling me, just get the Xbox Pass. I can't find the Xbox Pass for free either, so I just use free products for now for what I can do. And again, I gotta thank my donators for helping out this channel for everything I've gotten over the past year. It's helped me out greatly from GPUs, thermal paste, and stuff like that for competitions and that. Again, thank you very much for your donations. It does help out this channel a lot. Oh, speaking of which, I never put a goal up. My bad. I'll just say, I'll say hi. There we go. And I put a goal up since I forgot to put a goal. My apologies on that. Generally, I have one up. Yeah, fortunately, I bought the 3060 like 2 months ago. Oh, that's it? They only bought it 2 months ago. Wow. When I started building PC gaming, which is why I built another computer. I bought so much of the wrong things. Yeah, man, that's Why I am trying to make these videos for people. I suggest graphics cards, CPUs, motherboards, RAM kits, coolers like air cooling, AIO, and custom water loops. All budget builds or higher end builds for people, and it's people are really liking my choices basically, especially for around their budget and or what they're trying to do. Because PC game, you got PC gaming, yeah, but you also got PC gaming while streaming, you got PC gaming while recording, you got PC streaming while 4K, recording at 4K. I do 4K recording and stuff like that. Uh, or if you're just doing workstation, if you're just trying to do editing or just need an editing PC, I also have little thoughts in that for workstation editing type PCs as well. How could you forget money? Yeah. I'm going to put Battlefield 1 video up on my channel today just for you. All right, thank you. I'll definitely take a look at that tech. Yeah, I'm not used to the super chats. My first super chat was last weekend, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you, Griffin, for that. The upsides, plentiful, more precise processors with peak performance. And the 9070 XT is actually pretty good. First one with 3060 had a Ryzen 5 550, 5500 X probably, or just 5500. The one with the 7900 XT had a Ryzen 5 7600X. So I'm learning. Yeah, way better choices for the second PC. Way better choice. The 7600X is actually really good. Has a nice core clock frequency. You can overclock it a little bit and get a bit more performance. And for memory, it's AMD, so it's not the greatest for memory, but it will use 6,000 megatransfer per second CL30. Those kits work pretty good for that CPU. So yeah, good choices on your new builds, man. I am non-biased. I do like my Intel. I do like Nvidia, and I do have and used AMD products. My PC is a 13900K Z690 Ors Master on a custom water loop with a custom monoblock. GPU I'm using right now for the encoder for streaming and for gaming 3070 Ti, and that is the Zotac Amp Hollow. Has been modified though for overclocking. I haven't done anything with PC parts since we last talked in Discord. I didn't move the tote around in the garage though. Oh, you did move the tote around early in the garage. Don't be kicking the tote around. You're supposed to open it and be like, ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what's in this tote. That's what I can do with it. I don't know anything about overclocking though. I will watch some of your videos about overclocking. Yep, and my overclocking videos are fairly simple. I try to break it down to show fairly basic stuff. I do have older videos that are more tuned toward DDR5 overclocking on different kits of RAM. I do have Amazon's cheapest kit of RAM. I have been working on it more. It's a 5600 megatransfer per second kit at CL46 1.1 volt. I have a video out there. I overclocked it to 6,000 megatransfers per second CL40. I've been working on it though, and it's also still at 1.1 volts. I've been working on it for a bit more, and I got it to 6,000 megatransfers per second CL36. Yeah, with some better timing. So I'm absolutely amazed by how good that cheap kit of RAM actually overclocked with Micron ICs too. Yeah, some of these videos do, or live streams do get some views there, Raw. I think the best one I've gotten had 480 views, around 480. I'll get into it. I might do a quick live for the hell of it. Yeah, man, you should definitely do it. I'll definitely take a look at your live stream. Anyone else here wants to take a look, they can do that as well. Thanks, Rob. Hopefully your videos get more views too. I mean, gaming on one hand is not exactly an easy thing to do. So, plentiful, more precise processors with peak, we're going to say that again, with peak performance. I see two primary ways exiting the flagship market can help AMD better compete in other market segments. Very true. Just having their name in people's homes, consumers' homes, will actually just give them more incentive to buy more AMD. That's the thing, that you put something out there for 1 year for very cheap and people buy it. They're gonna buy it either the next year or whenever they want to upgrade, or they'll start putting in their head that AMD is good because there's nothing wrong with AMD. Just AMD's had issues in the past, like with their Bulldozer series. This wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the greatest. That's all. Or like the R9 Furies, they're just heat monster graphics cards. They're great graphics cards, especially for overclocking, but they were pretty hot. And they did burn out quite a bit because people just didn't keep them cool. I'm usually working on a bunch of stuff. Should record it. Actually, yeah, you should record it, man. Jeez, man. Like me, I'm basically recording almost. I'm up to about 16 hours a day of recording. I have to again go back through some more hard drives of mine that are filled up. I have over 22 terabytes of storage, and it's filled up again, and I have to go back through it. Recording at 4K can absolutely eat up a bunch of hard drive space and/or NVMe's and SSDs. So, yeah. I'm listening even though I didn't understand much of what you said. I just really only watch you and Toasty Bros. Oh, Toasty Bros. I haven't watched them in a while, actually. Yeah. If you haven't seen the last well, not last, the one stream I did last weekend, I streamed for almost 24 hours straight. One stream. Didn't get the most views, but I got a lot of people watching it for a long time. So that was nice. Ron was there. First, it is architecturally advantageous. Most graphics card families start with a high-end graphics card for flagship part. Usually, they start with the higher ends. You know, if they sold their lower ends or came out with their lower ends more, people would be buying it because they always come out with these flagship GPUs like the 5090, 5080 in the first quarter of the year, which right after Christmas, man, what's going on? Like, yeah, we're gonna buy a $2,000 graphics card right after Christmas and New Year's. Yeah, smart thing to do there, Nvidia. Yeah, which then is scaled down at basis for lower grade GPUs. This traditionally works well, but it's also true that design a product for a specific purpose tends to work better than applying a high-end part scaled down for lesser or different platforms. That's how ARM came to dominate the smartphone processor market. And I actually did worked on a woman's house that actually worked on the ARM processors. Did a bunch of construction and renovation for her. Not AMD or Intel. Yeah, ARM was absolutely crazy. They dominated. They dominated. The same dynamic is valid here. Very true. Do graphics cards come out every year, like even the flagship models? Basically, every year, every 2 years, basically. No, you gotta think the 3 years ago, the 30 series cards launched. 3090 came out early, quarter one of 2022, I believe. Early 2022 it came out. And then you got AMD side as well with their graphics cards. They came out with their flagship GPUs around the first quarter. And then right after that, the next year, they came out with what? The 40 series card. I guess it's been almost... You wouldn't say every 2 years, but close to, like a year and a half, new graphics card comes out. Kind of weird to me because sometimes old graphic cards are better than new ones. Yeah, because of optimizations and games have been optimized for older graphics cards. Not older graphics cards, but an older generation of graphic card has been optimized for games. And these newer ones have not been fully optimized, and it takes a few months. Why I always recommend not to buy a new graphics card right off the bat, just to wait and see the actual performance. If you don't know, Intel's A770s, their A7 Arc A770s and their Battle Mage. When they came out, they were terrible. I mean, absolutely, in my opinion, worthless. How bad they were. 4 months down the line, and I made a video about this. I was like, okay, well, things are gonna change. It's probably not as bad as it seems. It's a new graphics card. No games is really optimized for it. But 4 months down the line, maybe 5 months down the line, they came up with a driver update for it, and games have been optimized for it. They saw up to a 60% increase in performance just with the driver update. Insane. Usually with most other things, newer is better, but not with this. Exactly. Exactly. Not newer is not always better. Very, very true. Same thing with like a lot of people don't realize PCI Express 4.0. What is the max bandwidth you can put through that? Does anyone know this question? Does anyone know the question for how much bandwidth a PCI Express 4.0 has? Most GPUs that we have right now can do about, for PCI Express 4.0, up to 28 gigabits per second. That's basically what our GPUs can do. But do you know how much PCI Express 4.0 can actually do? 32 gigabits per second on standard. And then there's a bypass, like a special kind of bypass that can do up to 64 gigabits per second. We're not near that even with the newest GPUs that we have, by the way. We're not. I've been working on some videos about PCI Express 3.0, 4.0, and how GPUs are not even maxing out PCI Express 4.0 right now. You just play games and make videos, that's good enough. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. We're not hitting the limits of PCI Express 4.0, but yet now we got PCI Express 5.0, and we got PCI Express 5.0 graphics cards. The GDDR6 and GDDR6X memory is not going to max out 4.0, but yet AMD put in place for the PCI Express 5.0. Doesn't make sense. It technically has twice the bandwidth as 4.0. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. GDDR7 still does not max out 4.0, but yet it's in place for PCI Express 5.0. Again, this is like a lot of people, yeah. What is needed to get the 64? It's a bypass, a mode on your motherboard that you can use. And you gotta have to have a certain GPU and or pair of GPUs to be able to do this. So they're probably playing it with the 3090s when you can link them together. It's no longer a thing with NVLink and that you can't pair them together. I guess you could pair them together and use it for certain things, but for us gamers or gamers alike and that no, not gonna happen. New game on Steam called Deathside. Free weekend. Free. Ooh, I might take a look at that. What if they're gonna make a content creator benchmark? I like the content creator benchmarks. Absolutely amazing for me. It just makes things so much easier. Like the Monster Hunter Wild is actually a really long benchmark for a game benchmark for content creators. It's actually pretty long. Different segments onto it showing different kind of parts of the game and or dust, water, RTX, stuff like that. Kind of do like that. If you have not checked it out, I do have a Dune 2 Awakening Dune game benchmark as well. So definitely take a look at that. It actually looks pretty cool as well. This generally works well, but it's also true that designing a product for a specific purpose tends to work better than applying a high-end part scaled down for a lesser or different platform. True. Um, that's how ARM came. Yeah, dominate. So pretty cool there. I miss that you could put two GPUs together. You can still put two GPUs together, two of the same GPUs. You can. It's just the games are not optimized for it. It never really was fully optimized for games. Like you can put an AMD with a Nvidia and just use the Nvidia graphics card for the encoder and game off the AMD one if you want to do it that way. In my opinion, I wouldn't do that way. I would game off the Nvidia and I would get an Intel for the code for the coding. the encoding. And also for decoding, because it's really good. Frag Plan is also free if you didn't see it yet. No, I have not seen it. The other significant benefit of not making a flagship is, well, not having to make them. Not having to worry about the cost. The GPUs breaking. Nvidia with their power connectors blowing up their GPUs. Yeah, that's one thing they have to worry about because of those. And if you have not checked it, actually Hardcore Overclock went over a few videos about how it works and that, and how it's kind of odd how they have it set up, but it makes sense in FFA perspectives of how the power is delivered to the card. While not having to make them, the chip fabs and factories used to produce the various parts that go into a graphics card all have production limits, and the more resources dedicated to flagships. Exactly. The less you'll have to elsewhere. Yeah. Foregoing the flagships will enable AMD to produce more mid-range graphics card processors, which in turn will likely help to reduce their price due to increased economies of scale. Yeah, sure. Depends on though. There's so many depends. And if you guys don't know, Nvidia, Broadcom, and even AMD might partner up with Intel for 18A node or their 1.8 nanometer transistor. I have a video about that as well. You should definitely take a look at that. How these companies are looking to partner up and utilize Intel's 18A node or 18AP node. And the 18AP node, I guess I didn't really explain that there, is just a lower power model of the 18A or 1.8 nanometer transistor. I also see some significant secondary advantages to doubling down on budget markets. As Huynh said in his interview, gaining more market share will also help attract more developers to keep AMD graphics cards at the fore when designing future PC games. There you go. Not all games are optimized strictly for Nvidia. Not all games are optimized strictly for AMD. So more games will be probably optimized to use AMD and Nvidia. Not a lot of games are optimized for Intel, unfortunately. Ads. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I shouldn't have any ads right now on my thing. I didn't set any. But yeah, there's tons of ads. They gotta make their money on these websites. Uh, Games developed with a particular graphics architecture in mind are typically better optimized for that hardware, and as a result, perform better on that hardware. Duh, makes sense. Developers often try to optimize for as many graphics architectures as possible, but the hardware used in development always holds a more significant advantage. PS5 with AMD. Garbage. I'm just seeing e-waste right there. Tons of e-waste. E-waste. Old hardware. E-waste. Upscaling. Not real frames. Yeah. With this move, AMD might also be looking to try and win back some market share, PC aside, from game consoles, where AMD itself has a commanding position. During the interview, he brought up the Sony PlayStation 5 and its $499 price point. Yeah, we went over that up above. The PlayStation 5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X consoles both feature AMD Radeon graphics and AMD Zen processors, which means that AMD directly profits from game console sales. And they've been in it for years. They've been in it for years. Just probably because PlayStation and AMD made a good deal for their older architecture. So AMD had tons of them laying around. They're like, hey, you want some of these? We can give you some of these for this price. And PlayStation's like, yeah, we could do that. We can make these things fairly cheap, sell them for $500 US, and we can make a good profit. How about that? And that's how it worked out. That's how it works. AMD processors serve at the heart of both Microsoft and Sony's games consoles for quite some time now. Again, AMD had a ton of older architecture, CPUs and GPUs around, and yeah, Xbox and Sony bought these up, gobbled them up basically, and implemented them in their actual PlayStation and Xbox. While the game consoles are a source of income from the supply of chips, AMD likely profits more on a per unit basis from graphics card sales. Per unit basis. Especially right now, since they sold 200,000 units of 9070, 9070 XT since launch. They're definitely making a good profit off their graphics cards right now. Game consoles are produced on extremely tight budgets, and it's well known that console manufacturers often sell their hardware at loss. Brutal. Got a lot of games and that make them money too, right? So, at least initially, with the intention of profiting later off licensed sales of software and game titles. Exactly, that's how they really make money. Though it hasn't been publicly disclosed how much profit or revenue AMD draws from its Microsoft or Sony relationships, it likely makes more per unit off of individual graphics card sales, particularly as AMD has more direct control over what its graphics cards costs. Exactly, they don't have any. AMD just sold them the units, the AMD processors, GPUs, or APUs for the PlayStations and Xboxes, and Xbox and PlayStation either made money or did not make money by doing this. They made their money anyways due to, Xbox Pass, Sony PlayStation Pass, all those subscriptions. You gotta buy it monthly or you can't do anything. You gotta buy monthly or your Xbox controller no longer works. You gotta buy monthly or you get downscale for resolution. Naturally, this causes AMD to want to drive sales off its graphics cards over sales of game consoles. But that's difficult to do when your best card alone costs more than those $499 game consoles. But there's no subscription. We don't have to worry about anything going wrong, except for Nvidia blowing up. Or like the 9800X 3Ds that are apparently blowing up. Before there was only about 72 recorded. Now there's hundreds of 9800X 3Ds that have gone up in flames. That fully comes assembled, ready to game. Oh yeah, user friendly. Battlefield 1 still $40 USD on Steam. Brutal. What? Still $40? Like they've made tons of money off of that. I wonder how much did they make? Can you search that up for me? How much did they actually make off of Battlefield 1? And they're still absolutely probably hammering the amount of money off of it because people probably still play it. It's insane. $40 too. How much did these games used to cost us? You remember Nintendo 64? You remember like the Xbox One? Like the old Xboxes? We didn't pay $40 USD. Brutal. And we got hard copies. We didn't get no digital crap that could all of a sudden disappear. We had real hard copies. We had those things that were like this big, and you click, and then you put it in, and you click again, and it spins up, or it doesn't spin up. Sometimes you had to clean it. Made things more interesting. Well, the cartridges, you gotta blow on them. Get all that spit in there and make sure it worked again. The game consoles are just not more affordable, but also friendly or more accessible to use. Yeah, user friendly. As not everyone knows how to upgrade a PC. It's fairly simple. I have many videos about that. You should definitely take a look at that. Never mind how to build a PC. And today's consoles are potent enough to give you a premium, enjoyable gaming experience. That's my old Xbox game's nice. 110 million. Was that gross revenue was 110. So what was their net? Probably about 100 million. Probably only cost them like 10 million to produce or keep things going. No, data centers cost money, right? So wonder what their net was. Oh, we got more. But wait, there's more. Even so, modern graphics cards tend to produce better overall graphics performance and unlock more impressive graphical effects in games. Yeah, we don't have to worry about upscaling. 23K players on Steam currently. 23K players, and that's currently 23,000 people are still playing Battlefield 1. Absolutely insane. That helps only so much against advantages that game consoles carry by targeting this next generation of graphics cards at the mid-range and budget segments. AMD's Radeon cards will better appeal to these gamers who want to keep costs down. That $499 or below price point would be appeal to a wider range of gamers and help to make PC build with capable graphics more affordable. Most people who are going to opt for a game console over a game PC still will. But if you next-gen Radeon graphics cards are priced competitively enough, and they're pretty good for the price of the 9790 XT. They did okay. They did okay. And you still have the old Nintendo system. Nice. Play it good. I play it is good even now, but cheaters are there. Wow, really? Still cheaters? Cheaters in those games? That's crazy. It fluctuates big time throughout the year. Ah, makes sense. I remember renting games for N64, right? Yeah? Yeah? Man, I remember Blockbuster. I remember renting from Blockbuster. Crazy. Most people who are going to opt for a game console over a game PC still will, but if next-gen Radeon cards are priced competitively enough, AMD might lure a few over to its camp in the gaming PC market. Yeah, and they did. 200,000 units sold. They got some more people. Apparently, India is investing 400 million for AMD to produce and manufacture AMD products and to advance AMD products in India. India put $400 million towards AMD. Absolutely insane. COD, World at War, still a good game too. Lots of players, I think. I think I still got some blockbuster movies floating around. Yeah, that's why they went out of business. You're one of them. You're one of the reasons why they went out of business. You know, Grandma's Boy was one of the most stolen uh, movies from Blockbuster. Grandma's Boy was one of the most stolen Blockbuster movies. People rented it and never returned it. Great movie. You got that right. It's a really funny movie. If you not have checked out or watched Grandma's Boy, definitely watch Grandma's Boy. Today, $499 is closer to the middle of the graphics card market than high end, so I doubt AMD intends to stop selling graphics cards at this price point. However, it does suggest that the company is focusing increasingly on budget and mid range buyers to grow its market share. Sam Miller, high-end AMD is a waste of silicone. This generation is one 990 XT could make the 97 XT 90. In a way, yeah, it is kind of a waste. You got a point there, man. These higher end models are kind of a waste. I wouldn't say 990 XT would be able to make three 9070 XTs, but depending on the yield, the cost of manufacturing the actual AIBs for these, like the AIB manufacturers for these, like the coolers and that, motherboard manufacturers got to make the coolers too for these. So having something like the 9070 XT or even the 5070 Ti is in my opinion. Yeah, it's a 16 gigabyte card, but it's not the greatest of the great, even though it is PCI Express 5.0 with GDDR7 memory, still not the greatest. And so yeah, I think the yield quality on each of these dies has to be made, go through checks and that. Um, like I said, the coolers have to be designed for each of these as well to make sure they're in spec or over spec. AMD well over spec their AMD graphics cards, or the mother or the GPU manufacturers way over spec theirs. If you have not seen those videos or have seen that, way over spec their GPUs this time around. Crazy. And that's the thing. There has to be a good yield for these dies or even CPUs, right? There has to be a good yield per actual chip to make sure that us consumers can buy it at a reasonable price. It's also why they stopped making the 3 nanometer or went straight to like 2 nanometer style transistors, because apparently the 3 nanometer was kind of garbage for the yield. Like the yield for the 3 nanometer was terrible. So they just automatically switched. This page just keeps going on and on and on. I like it. Nice. I think way too fast. I forget to type everything in one go or check to see if it makes sense. All good, man. All good, man. No one here is judging. No one here is judging. If anything, people are judging me, not you. It's okay. And they can judge me all day long. I got facts. I got proof. I use products. I do this. Budget GPUs for the win. AMD's done it before. They've done it before and they'll do it again. The only reason why AMD actually sold a lot of these RX 500 and 400 series graphics cards is miners. Miners bought these things and put them in like warehouses and filled up warehouses full of thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of these graphics cards. This is the reason why they sold a lot of these. Mining. Mining. For moolah. Money, money, money. Exactly. He does this stuff, man. You got that right. Exactly. I do this stuff. Put them to work. Crack the whip. This isn't the first time AMD has attempted this strategy, more like the fourth time, and it has worked well in the past. Except for mining for people nowadays, they're not going after graphics cards, they're using actual miners for these GPUs. Now we have to worry about AI. Ooh, we have to worry about AI taking over the world. Yeah, that's what we gotta worry about now. AI and how all these manufacturers for AI and so many like even data centers are still buying up graphics cards for AI workloads. It's absolutely insane. But they are going to be going after the higher VRAM models. Kind of sucks. AMD went after with the 9796 XT, both being 16 gigabytes, so probably a lot of them are being bought for AI. So that's probably why they're selling a lot of those too. But yeah, that's what we're worried about right now is AI. Not mining anymore with the 500 series and 400 series, but AI for the 9796 XT and more or less Nvidia's high-end GPUs. Yeah, you're a gamer. Each time AMD employed these tactics, market share increased. Well, I would hope so. More sale, more market share, more money. The last time AMD tried this was with its AMD Radeon RX 400 series and AMD Radeon RX 500 series graphics cards, the latter of which launched in 2017. What other graphics cards launched in 2017? Does anybody know? You're going with someone that has a pretty good memory on this stuff, so of course I know. My Discord is going off for some reason. I'm not going to answer what other graphics card launched in 2017 until somebody says it. I'll even go pull it out of the woodworks here because I got one or two or three. These cards were so popular that even now, 7 years later, the most popular AMD graphics card in use, according to Valve's Steam survey survey, is the AMD Radeon RX 580. Yeah. Which launched for $229 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. No, it launched with 4 gigabyte model and 8 gigabyte model. Get it right there, website. At the time, these cards were selling so well that I also had the 8 GB and 4 GB model because I was overclocking at the time. These cards were selling so well that they were often out of stock for extended periods. Yeah, the only time I was able to find these was RX 580 8 GB Amazon. Cost me $270, around $270. And then later on, I bought a RX 580 4 GB Sapphire model used for $100. So I was quite happy with that. Yeah. In fairness, the late 2010s cryptocurrency mining boom also contributed to Radeon RX 500 selling. They did it. They said it. I said it first before I read it, but they said it. They did. They sold a lot of RX 500s. Even with the 400 series too, like the RX 480s, 470s. They sold a lot of those graphics cards just for mining. That's why a lot of people couldn't find them. Yeah, good price for those cards. The RX 400 and RX 500 series graphics cards helped AMD grow its market share. Yeah, the miners really helped the market share those years. 2017, 2018, 2019, roughly. But eventually AMD fell prey to the lure of flagships. Yeah, Nvidia just came out and was like, boom, 1080 Ti. Boom, 2080 Ti. You want VRAM? We give you more VRAM. You want a Titan with 12 gigs with 1 more gig? We got it. That's what they did. I mean, people that started VR started around that time when the 1080s and RX 580s came out. And then later on, VR was coming out. A lot of people bought the 1080 Ti's, the Titans, for VR. They weren't really being used for mining, but they're being used for VR. Absolutely insane. Boom! Wish I had that, like, slap chop. Boom! Slap chop. The company has made some stellar top-end cards, so that returned to form. Every time AMD did it, yeah. Every time AMD did it, oh, they do it. They do it every time. Every time. Was well received. Still, afterward, market share tended to decline, gradually leading AMD to to exit the high-end market eventually. Man, this page really does go on forever. It's actually kind of nice. So much information all in one website. Oh, by the way, this is from last year. This has placed AMD's Radeon graphics card business in a bit of a loop that has been repeating for decades. Yeah, not great. Like I said with R9 Furies and that. It's hard to anticipate what will happen this time, but every time AMD has done this, we've seen some spectacular and steady graphic cards with lasting impact. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. I still don't mind the RX 6700 XT. It's still a really good graphics card in my opinion. Especially right now, you can pick it up for $260 to $280 for RX 6700 XT, which is actually a pretty good price, 12 GB card. And I wouldn't say it's, the greatest, of course. You got these GPUs now, but for that price point for 12 gigs, it's pretty good. I know I owned one. So here's hoping the fourth time is also the charm. A new generation's Radeon RX 580 is just waiting to be born. You merely adopted the duck. I was born in it. Why isn't Nvidia getting better results from using the GDDR7? 97 XT on GDDR6 is keeping up with 5070 with GDDR7. Yeah, absolutely insane, right? Insane, right? Optimization, buddy. Right now, it's optimizations for games and stuff. Give it 2 months, maybe three. It's generally 3 to 4 months that I've been noticing that games and stuff like that have been optimized more greatly for newer components and hardware. But just give it a few months, and you'll see that the 5070 Ti will be performing a lot better than it was. GDDR6 has been out for a very long time now, talking 3.5, almost 4 years for GDDR6 memory. So it's been well implemented into games to use GDDR6 memory and even GDDR6X, which is only manufactured by Micron, which is error correcting memory. Yep. You can throw a 5070 Ti with its GDDR7 memory in a PCI Express 4.0, get the same performance as PCI Express 5.0. That's because we still have not maxed stuff out for PCI Express 4.0, but yet we're going to PCI Express 5.0. Again, I don't know why. Just because they want to say new, better, more bandwidth, even though our GPUs don't have more bandwidth. I don't get it. I really don't get how what they're doing. If they just think people are actual morons, or what? They just think everyone has this money. Oh, we can just throw this out. They'll buy it, and they do. Somehow they do. People do, and they go, "Oh, damn! They bought it last year. Let's do it this year. Oh, they bought it this year. Let's start planning now for next year to bring something else new that they're just gonna gobble up." And they do. They really do, man. My 3070 Ti has more bandwidth than the 5070, or is literally the same as the 5070 Ti for the same bandwidth. 600 and around 680 gigabits per second for bandwidth. Absolutely insane how my 3070 Ti matches the 5070 Ti. Brutal. Yeah, I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you how or why they do this. Probably, again, like I said, they probably just think people are morons with money and then they buy it. And since there's so many people in the world now that actually have money to spend, they sell because there's just so many people in the world now. Yeah, it's just a lot of people. There's a lot of people. And since Nvidia is so big of a company, they're just easy. Yeah, exactly. Money. Money. Mula, mula, mula. Money, money, money. All right, a little bit about Michael Justin Allen Sexton. For as long as I can remember, I've had love for all things tech. Same here. I started way back when my grandparents bought me a subscription to Maximum PC. Ah, way back with Maximum PC. Gotta love it. In part by a love of gaming, I began work on computers owned by immediate family members and relatives when I was around 10 years old. I was around there too, actually, taking apart PCs. Shouldn't have, but I did. I've always sought to learn as much as possible anything PC, leading to a well-rounded grasp on things tech today. In my role at PC Mag, I greatly enjoy the opportunity to share what I know. And that's good. It's good to give information to people that want it, especially me, where I can be like, ooh, pages upon pages. I wrote for a well-known tech site, Tom's Hardware. Oh, he worked for Tom's Hardware for 3 years. Nice. Tom's Hardware is also a major one. We might actually go through them today here. I joined PC Mag in 2018. In that time, I've reviewed desktops, PC cases, and motherboards as a freelancer, while also producing deals, content for the site and its sibling Extreme Tech. Now, as a full-time PC Mag analyst, I'm focusing on reviewing processors and graphics cards while dabbling in all other things PC related. Amazing, man. Amazing. Keep up the good work. A couple of wordings were a little odd, but that's, I guess, reviewers nowadays. They just gotta throw in every kind of different kind of word in the dictionary they can. And they just like throw it at the dictionary like that word works. Don't know what it means, but it works. We're gonna go over. Should we go over some of these things? September 13th, 24. Is it money or is it bragging rights? Not for Nvidia, man. I don't know if it could be bragging rights. You gotta remember, Nvidia only makes like 6% of their money off of GPU sales. Nvidia does not make money off of these GPUs. They have not made really a whole lot of money off their GPUs for a very long time compared to like data centers and stuff like that. Like, seriously. Their servers and data centers, like center hardware, they make way more money. Way more money. We're talking trillions of dollars versus billions of dollars. How can you tell if a gamer has a 5090? Wait, they'll tell you. So true. So true. Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to be gaming with my brand new 5090 with 32 gigabytes of VRAM. Oh wait, it just blew up. This is a losing move. Nvidia can always beat AMD in the mid-range as well. They, yeah and no. Yeah and no. Price, no. Um, Nvidia just keeps trying to upgrade their stuff for no reason, and then other companies try to make out their GPUs to have the same kind of hardware, but they can't do it with the same kind of price. The only exception is if AMD has got RT acceleration that sparks Nvidia by a country mile. I don't mean by 5% or 10%, but at least 20% by many titles. We'll look right into to get the same fidelity, the RT titles from Nvidia. You would have to get a 5080 or 5090. We're just talking about you, 5090. In that upside down world, then AMD would take 40% or more if its prices were sub 400 as well, maybe even 50%, but that is fantasy land big time. Yeah. The adventure time. Coming on with me. Small peen guys. No, it's all good. Show. Small peen guys. It's all good. I have YouTube AI moderator, so it just any small weird things it won't do it. And for some reason, it'll allow some other weird things that you wouldn't really be able to say. So not your fault. I do video and don't see the need for a $500 board. $170 one just does just fine. Yeah. I remember the $3,500 stereo with a turntable that some guy tried to sell me. Nah, I'm hiding now. There's no need for that. Jeez. Message automatically held by review, hidden by OCPC. That's right. You can go far, but you can't go that far. You gotta make sense if you're gonna be using swear words. Ditching the high-end segment, AMD hasn't had a product worthy of being in that segment for years. Yeah, Nvidia has 90% market. Not 90% market. Close, but not 90% market. I don't know where you're getting your information there. Radeon Zoltar, you Russian bastard. I'm not sure where you're getting your 90% market. They don't have 90% of the market. They have about 80% of the market. So 80% of the market is Nvidia. AMD is about 10% now, around 10%. And no, 80% for Nvidia. I think they're up past 10%. But you gotta remember there's Intel, but they're like, it's big. They don't really have much market share at all for graphics cards. For graphics cards. Okay? We're saying graphics cards. We're not going to go into CPUs right now. Fanboy clout chaser, most likely. Yeah. I can agree. It's good to be a fanboy. Just don't push it on people. If there's something better, there's something better. If there's a different alternative, guess what? There's a different alternative. People get choices nowadays. Not choices on how much things cost, but people get choices. Okay, we're going to go on to this one here, PCgames.com. Boom, where I got the thumbnail. Thank you for the thumbnail. Agree. Let's see. Who's Ben Stockton? Well, this is Ben Stockton right here. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. Enhance. That's as far as we can zoom, but we cannot enhance anymore either. Zoom in. This is Ben Stockton, and this is what he wrote. That was probably really brutal on the eyes. Was on mine. Very nice. Very nice. Nisai. Nisi. Are you Chinese now there, Joe? AMD is moving its focus away from high-end GPUs in an effort to grow sales and market share. Its new Radeon GPUs will instead target mid-tier and budget gamers to help challenge Nvidia's dominance over the market. That's what they gotta do. They can make money, they can make some money for the next year for their flagship. They don't have to worry about this year about flagship. They just need to dominate. They just need a dominatrix. Crack that whip. You happy? Are you happy? Am I happy? In this time of life, knowing ya. Gotta be perfect grammar around here. God damn, exactly, man. You gotta keep things so that way people can understand, and so that way AI can understand and learn from you, okay? AI needs proper grammar so it can learn from us. Get it right. You don't tell me if I'm happy. I don't even tell me if I'm happy. Its new AMD Radeon GPUs will instead target mid-tier budget gamers to help challenge Nvidia's dominance over the market. Dominate. AMD confirmed the news during a question and answer session or a Q&A session at the IFA 2024 Tech Showcase in Berlin. Ads everywhere. Ads. My eyes. Ooh, let's buy it. Ooh, a piece of candy. People. AMD is now going to focus on scale. Bigger is better. Are they located in Texas? Bigger is better. Where my meat is bigger than yours. I mean, GPU is bigger than yours. Oh, candy, yeah. In an effort to hold 40 to 50% of the GPU market. That's what they're hoping. They're hoping to get at least 40%. Bigger isn't always better. RT is going to be a niche, even in the future. The best-selling game on Steam right now is Schedule, which I don't need, or Ray Tracing, yeah. Counter-Strike, I'm not sure what KCD2 is, and Banana don't need Ray Tracing. Correct. They do not need Ray Tracing, and they don't need frame generation. They need nice frame by frame rendered by the GPU as smooth and as fast as possible. So with anything about frame generation, you're gonna get latency on the frames, which is bad. I still do. You can say KCD2 as many times as you want. Thank you there, Sam. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Thank you. I have not played Kingdom Come since probably the first Kingdom Come. You know, I used to be an artist. I used to draw all that stuff. I used to be artistic. My hands were able to do it. Now they cannot. I am now old and very, very frail. This isn't necessarily a bad idea, as some of the best graphics cards for budget and mid-tier gamers belong to AMD. Sick do? Sick do? What's due? When are you due, man? You having twins? Jack Huhn. Oh, we got Jack Huhn again. A senior VP and member of AMD leadership team. Oh, this guy probably stole. He probably stole the information off of the other website. Shame on you. Shame on you, Ben Stockton. Nah, he probably didn't get all this stuff from the same place usually. That's why my logo is made by me. Too many. That's why my logo is made by me. Made by me and me only. But guess what? I used AI because I could not afford to actually, get somebody to make it for me. I've had lots of people ask me if I do want it made, but I just can't afford it right now. I would love to support people that do that. It's a talent. It's a talent that I lost years ago. I actually went through school to become a game designer or animator. So, yeah. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm not making paper. Yeah, Tom Hardware about the new strategy. Huhn suggests that while AMD's pricing already gives the company leadership, it needs to bring developers along to optimize games for AMD GPUs. So true. Which you can only do if AMD grows its market share. This isn't the first time AMD has pivoted like this with first-gen RDNA 1 GPUs back in 2019, capping in the mid-tier with cards like Radeon 5700 XT rather than trying to deliver it to the top. And these cards sold again to miners. Miners bought these cards so you couldn't get them and drove the prices up. Hooray for miners. Oh, now I'm just thinking of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but them mining. Mining for diamonds. It's been rumored that AMD RDNA 4 GPUs would skip the high-end market for some time. Yes, it has. Again, I went over this last year as well. Especially given the current difference between Nvidia and AMD's tech, which has not delivered AMD the ray tracing performance it needs to be dominant at the top. While RDNA 3 GPUs like the Radeon RX 7900 GRE do perform well, that is rabbit. It stands for rabbit. It is a rabbit. GRE. The R is rabbit. The names they make these GPUs, it's funny. AMD's current FSR scaling technology can't compete with Nvidia DLSS. When it comes to image quality, Nvidia's 4000 series cards perform better in ray tracing benchmarks than AMD's getting better with the ray tracing, but yeah, ray tracing is probably not going to be a thing. AI is going to take over the world. Remember I say this, ladies and gentlemen, AI has and is already taking over the world. Yes, I want to be a graphics designer too, but the school costs a lot. Yeah, I can't believe we had that in common. Yeah, it's nice. At least you're not dealing with crunch time, long hours, and burnout at a game studio. Yeah, that's very true. I just stream for up to 24 hours or 12 hours or work on videos for hours after recording and streaming. I just do a lot of hours of this now. And then building PCs, testing stuff out, going through DDR5 overclocks and different kinds of RAM, getting and reviewing cheap PC hardware or PC hardware in general. I just spend all my time doing that, almost 24 hours a day. Some days 24 hours a day. I do enjoy it though. I do love my overclocking in that, so that's why I do it. That's why I do it for a long period of time too. But sometimes you burn out, like the other week when I streamed for about 24 hours there, I slept for about a good 14 hours. Straight. I was out cold. Gone. You could have shaken me and I wouldn't have woken up. Looking at the market share alone, it's clear AMD needs to do more to challenge Nvidia's hold over gamers, but if its new RDNA 4 GPUs offer better bang for buck than Nvidia's competitors at the lower end of the market, it may be able to establish a space for itself. And they did it. They did it, ladies and gentlemen. With their 9070, 97 XT, AMD did it. 12% of the market. There we go. 12%. And that is about correct for last year around this time in September. That is about correct. They might be up to 16 or 18% right now, but they are definitely not higher than that. I do love me some coffee. High-end GPUs are potentially great for AMD's brand, but with AMD currently only commanding 12% of the market, focusing all of its efforts on the largest group of gamers could help it win back some of the presence in the market. That's all they did. That's all they needed to do. Not focusing on high-end. Just getting their name back out there going, we can do it, boys. We can do some ray tracing. We got a decent encoder now. You got 16 gigabytes of VRAM. You should be happy, right? And people still weren't happy. I mean, people still weren't happy, but it's still really good for AMD that they did this. AMD enthusiasts don't need to totally panic, though, as Shun confirms that AMD won't forget the Threadrippers and the Ryzen 9s at the top. That's CPU. That's completely different than GPU, okay? That's different. We're not really talking about CPUs right now. We're talking about GPUs. So get a hold of yourself there, Rob. Rob? I think that's his name. Yeah, Ben. Oh, Ben. Rob. Ben. Get a hold of yourself there, Ben. We're not talking about CPUs. We're talking about GPUs. Jeez. While he didn't confirm it outright or elaborate on that, it does seem likely that AMD will produce high-end GPUs again at some point in the future. And they will. They just gotta get their name out there so that way people be like, damn, oh hot damn, this is my jam. 97 series as a shot. AMD up to 45% market share in Japan. Correct. Have you watched my video about Japan? I think you did watch my video there, Sam. He's robbing my time. He's robbing it. He's taking it away from me. They took my job. Time will tell if AMD's new Radeon graphics card successfully challenged Nvidia's success among gamers. There's no confirmed Radeon RX 8000 release date yet. It's 9000. But they didn't know this right around this time. They didn't know that they were going to switch everything over to sound like Nvidia's graphics cards, and then that they were not going to do a higher end, just go with the lower medium end cards. You watch too many tech tubers? Yeah, it makes sense. It's good though. It's good to, make sure that you're getting the correct information, right? If one person doesn't seem correct, you gotta go after the next. Me, I like websites. I like forums. I like doing it myself. But rumors suggest it will be early 2025 before we see them. If you can't hold up to early 2025, first quarter 2025, what did we get? 9770 XT. What did it do? It did good. If you can't hold on that long, our favorite current gen AMD GPU is still the Radeon RX 7000 XT. It's a pretty good GPU as well. A great value card that doesn't sacrifice too much performance. A little bit about Ben. Ben Stockton. Ben's been building PCs since he was 10 years old. Wow, it's like we're brothers or something. But his first rodeo was tinkering with Windows 95 and playing SimCity 2000 on a classic Pentium MMX PC. It's been a few years since then, but tech is in Ben's blood. He's been writing about it since 2018, covering Windows and PC hardware, among other things, for sites like How to Geek. Now he's PC game ends hardware writer, sharing his love for mini gaming PCs with a wider audience. If he isn't playing old Star Trek games or conquering world in Europa Universalis. I'm not sure. I'm not Roman. I don't know Roman. 5. Then he's already at the beach. Wait, is that 6? That's 6. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. That's why AI's gonna rule the world. Yeah, alright. Burn AMD Ryzen 900X 3D motherboard just needed a clean, says ASRock. I went through this as well. Go check out that video. It does not look correct. Things looked a little iffy on those, by the way. A little iffy. Things don't add up. Things do not look correct. Because AMD does not want to tarnish their name like what happened to Intel. And Intel took too long to figure out what was really causing the issues with their CPUs degrading. Motherboard manufacturers. Just say, should definitely go check out those videos as well. I was one of the first ones to put it out there. I don't care how much hate I get from it. Listening to tech channels and podcasts makes the warehouse jobs go by faster, no doubt. I've been told to do podcasts, but I don't know. I don't know if it pays. At least making videos. Because again, I'm recording and streaming at the same time, so streaming doesn't really make me much money. Puts my name out there more, but that's about it. Gives me hours watched. Videos, though, they help out. The most money I do get is from donators, though. So, again, thank you all to my donators. It can, but you have to have personality for it or a good voice. Ah, very, very true. I don't have personality or a good voice. And good mic. Yeah, very true. My mic cost me $15 after a $30 coupon. My mic and stand. Cost me $15. Thank you. They're a koi. Oi koi. Amazing. Absolutely amazing there, Ben. Yeah, some mics cost a lot of money, but my mic doesn't come with any kind of software and that for it. I gotta do all that through OBS, and I'm not the professional on that, so does not sound that great. So I've been told. Do I care? Not really. I'm here to give information to make sure people are getting the correct information. You gotta remember, a lot of these YouTubers nowadays are sponsored and will not say certain things about certain things because they are sponsored or want a sponsorship. I want a sponsorship, but I'm still gonna say my peace of mind on everything. If I do make a contract for a sponsorship, it will be a contract in which I have the most say on what I'm allowed to do. That's why I'm trying to get more or less donators, people join the channel too, help fund, getting new PC hardware and that too. Though there are lots of gaming subscription services around these days, formally blah blah blah. I'm sorry, man. I don't care null. I don't care null. Let's go. You can actually smell this AMD Radeon RX 90% XT with a built-in air freshener. What? A built-in air freshener? Or just a lot of time. The biggest tech channel work 12 to 16 hour a day to feed the content treadmill. I work that too. By myself. They have many people that do it, and they don't work those kind of hours. I'm like minimum working 16 hours a day on my videos, or trying to come out with new videos, or have to go back through old videos that I recorded and then have to edit those videos after doing weeks of just recording videos, doing everything myself. They have people doing all the overclockings, and if they do even overclock, building PCs and that. I do overclocking, I build PCs, different kits, like, I mean, so many things that I do myself, and then doing this throughout the day. Right after this, I'll be editing videos and then trying to make some more videos on Amazon's cheapest CPU water block, which is actually pretty cool. I'm thinking about throwing it in my 13900K, see if it can keep my 13900K from overheating. I don't know, probably. Sam, I know a lot sound about that because streamed for a long time. Yep. Yep, not fun, man. Not fun. But you gotta edit the videos. You gotta make sure things are decent. I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm getting better. Worry that your gaming space isn't smelling as heavenly as you'd like. The scented AMD Radeon RX 90 XT from Houston might be the answer. I think I went over this actually. It's crazy, man. The smell test. We got a smell test, ladies and gentlemen. Good old Gamers Nexus. Yep, everything's time. Everything does take time. Started from the bottom, now we're here. You can follow us on Google News, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Ben Stockton again. Good for you, Ben. New AMD desktop CPUs could beat PS5 without a graphics card. Oh, wait. Give me one sec. Oh, you want no notepad. Okay. You want to see what I do? You want to see what I'll do? Boom. 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 Notepad. Notepad with what I'm supposed to talk through and try to sound like to make things, sound better. But this is what I do. This is what I do. I go through the information and I try my best to explain it in ways to make it simpler for people, or going through pages upon pages of stuff and breaking it down to something a little bit shorter, although it's not exactly short. I do that for a lot of my videos too. Like, a lot of them I type everything out. Even though I might not go on everything that I typed out, to have a point of view on what I'm supposed to be saying at a certain time. Go through things in steps. You know what I'm saying? Boom! 10 times higher. 9070 XT is selling like hotcakes. Ben Stockton again. Hey, 3 days ago, Ben. How come you look the same, though? You still look the same there, Ben. You probably have more gray hairs now. In unsurprising news, the AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT launch has apparently been a huge success so far for the chipmaker. In an interview with AMD CEO provided some additional insight into the launch of its new gaming GPU. Nice. Fantastic success. That led to 10 times more first week sales compared to last gen AMD Radeon GPUs. Amazing. AMD making a high-end GPU? Did it. They're not. Not this year. Not this year. Maybe next year they're gonna do it, but not this year. I guess I should make a conclusion saying, yeah, they are not making a high-end GPU this year. Unfortunately for all you enthusiasts out there that want a high-end GPU for AMD, they are just not gonna make it. Nvidia, you got the win this year for the flagship GPUs, but you also got the loss for the missing ROPs, and you also got the loss for the burning connectors. Good job, Nvidia. AMD has done extremely well to position the RX 9070 XT as the go-to choice for most gamers, which is why it's now the top recommendation for the average gamer. Average gamer. Like Rom. Not the notes I know that the scripts I had to write for my video. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is, right? Thumbs up. Why does he look like a Chinese Harry Potter? Nice. In a YouTube video interview conducted by Tony Yu. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce you. Tony Yu. Time to head out to the coal mine. Good luck on the stream. Thanks, man. Have a good time working. Don't work too hard, man. Try to not abuse your body too much. Not like me when I was doing construction. I was a workhorse. ASUS China's general manager and the CEO, Dr. Lisa Su, explained that the company was very excited. We're so excited. Look how excited they are. We're so excited. AI is taking over the world. By the response to the new graphics card, the 9070 XT has provided to be the #1 seller in the first week sales compared to any other AMD Radeon launches. Amazing, good job. According to Sue, who also confirmed that the company is increasing manufacturing to help deliver more cards to happy customers. While this is undoubtedly a good news story for AMD, the company hasn't been a huge player in the GPU market lately. A 10 times increase in sales would suggest that the company is making progress. Good job. You're climbing the ladders, you guys. You're climbing the ladder in the GPU market. That's coming from a low starting point. Very, very low. As Nvidia continues to be the obvious market leader with a reported 90% share. It wasn't 90%. It's not 90%. They're not 90%, people. Where are these getting their numbers? They're like 80 to 85%. They're not 90% of the GPU market. Intel is like 1% maybe, but they're not 90%. Jesus. Their face, yeah. Share of the GPU market is recently a quarter 2024. It wasn't 90%. I went through this last year. It wasn't 90%. According to figures published by John Petty Research. He's so petty. Is he a Jew? A Jew for you, a Jew for me. This interview follows comments made recently by AMD VP David McPhee about RX 9070 XT launch, who described the demand for the GPU as unprecedented for the company. These comments combined with sales 10 times higher than other earlier card launches, which suggests that AMD wasn't completely prepared for the popularity of the RX 9070 XT on launch day. Ooh, I like this ad. Good job. Nice ad. Either way, supply constraints across the board have made it tricky for gamers to pick up this GPU for themselves, especially at its MSRP. We'll be hoping that AMD is able to respond as quickly as McPhee has suggested. It will be delivering new stock with stable and affordable prices by Q2 2025. Stick around for April 29th, maybe sooner. I'll put it in the community forum, if not in the Discord channel in the link description below, about Intel and AMD and Nvidia and Broadcom's partnership for Intel's 18A or 18AP node, or also known as our 1.8 nanometer transistor. Alright, so make sure you hit that subscribe, notification bell, and also again that Discord channel, because I'll be going over this as well, either April 29th and or sooner. Until then, you just have to keep an eye on the website where to buy RX 9070 XT guide for some must-watch retailers to check for the latest stock. You can also check out our RX 9070 XT reviews, see why we love this new GPU, AMD GPU, and why we recommend it as our top choice for most gamers. Very true. Good job, Ben. Oh, it switched on me. Why do you do that? That's probably going to be it for this stream, though. We went over a few things, and yeah. Have a good stream. See you later. I got to cook and eat. Yeah, man. Get some food into you. I got to do the same. I'm going to be probably calling it a stream here. I've been streaming for a little bit now and gone through everything I want to talk about in the stream. Got to edit the video afterwards as well, so stick around for the edited video. So I'm going to say, yeah, thank you, Hart. Thank you, Hart. If you did not see my my 1-year birthday stream, again, thank you very much for being there since the beginning, man. You've been around for a very long time and have always been or tried to get to my stream. So again, thank you, Hart. Don't say anything about that. Don't say anything about that. You're my brother. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to call it a stream here, everyone. Again, thank you to all my viewers, subscribers, and donors. You guys are helping out this channel greatly. If you're not part of the Discord channel, you should definitely take a look at the Discord channel as well. If you're not part of the Patreon page, definitely take a look at that as well. I am also over on Instagram and TikTok if you don't know about that as well. If you'd like to join this community. And thank you very much, everyone. And as always, don't forget to get her done. Mac stream. No. Screw your Mac. Throw it in the garbage. Thanks again, man. I hope everyone has a good weekend, alright? Peace, and take her easy.